cool.
Let's pimp the streets.
That's post production.
So, you want to tell the people who you is?
I am. Wow, I had a couple of
right now,
monikers within my life. One, should I say, Uptown's Bad Boy, DJ Rhythm. Somebody jacked that and named the company behind it, but we ain't gonna talk no about that right now. But the next one will be the Music Man, DJ Rhythm. Then I turned from that to the Mixtape God. Now I'm just America's most gangster DJ. That's who I am, DJ Rhythm, America's most gangster DJ. What up, bro?
Who was your motivation? Who got you started in this art form?
Wow, it's a couple of people, and I'm gonna name them like how it is, man. I ain't gonna leave nobody out. I would say first, it was my big brother Mark. Him and my other big brother Mike, rest in peace, they already had, by the time I was like 10 and 11 years old, me and my little brother, we already had DJ equipment in our house around us already. My brothers was already DJing parties and house parties and clubs and everything, so we already seen what that was about. And I would say my big brother Mark, yeah. And my little brother, DJ Half Pint, he was the one that was very, very interested into it. I was like, more like trying to finish school. They called me a genius, and when I was young, you know, I was more into rock. It sounds crazy, but I was into like U2, you know, I was into Kiss, you know what I'm saying, Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Beatles. I was listening to that. Hip-hop was out already, but that's the music I was listening to. But I would say my brother Mark and my little brother DJ Half Pint, they were my motivation. I mean, other people came, like Disco King Mario. He was one that I felt that I would try to match or get my name as big as his, because he's like one of the biggest, if not the godfather of hip-hop. I would say Disco King DJ Mario. Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of rolls into how come you broke through, because what was your brother and them doing? They was doing parties, you said?
Yeah, my brother Mark, he one of his accolades, he was the first DJ in history to ever DJ on a train for MTA. They threw a New Year's party on a train in '88, and he was the DJ. And he already had his production of DJs called MARK Productions, and he was very active doing parties for the housing association, and you know, all the neighborhood parties and bar mitzvahs. They was doing them all, you know, sweet 16s, you know, doing all the parties for the schools. He was already, they had it sold up. So I already seen the business and how it was ran, and like, you know, we already had I already had the knowledge from my brothers and them from what they was doing, what this hip hop thing was about.
Okay, so were they doing mixtapes and shit?
Well, at that time it was just straight going outside playing the 12 inches of the artists that were out, like Melly Mel and them. There was no mixtapes or nothing out there at that time. Mixtapes came out more like pushing like 89, 90 with, you know, DJ Hollywood, my cousin Big Brucey, the world famous Brucey B, you know, Ron G, SNS,
okay,
Kid Capri, Action Pack, DJ Triple C from Soundview. My man, one of the legendary DJs on Mixtape, one of the most legendaries, my bro, DJ D Demo, DJ Smooth Dominant, and one of my big homie, man, how would I say it? He was more like my Darth Vader, DJ RZD from Monroe.
Wow.
And if you just listen to the names I just gave you, that's like maybe the beginning of the whole mixtape movement, starting with Brucey B and Star Child in Hollywood. What they would do is they'll make the tapes from the parties that they was doing, they would actually record the parties live, and then take the tapes and sell them to the people that's who could not make it to the party. They had the mixtapes to go back and listen to,
And then how did you get into that?
How I got into it, I just fell in love with the mixtapes. I seen the power of the DJ. Like at first, the rapper's the one with all the strength, all the notoriety, but I started seeing the wave on the mixtapes on how they was heating the streets up, and it gave a voice to DJs. It gave a voice to the DJs in the different areas and neighborhoods when they would do these 90-minute mixtapes and bring them to these local stores. They would make copies and they would sell these 90-minute cassettes from their stores, and it actually started to blow the DJ up. And what happened was, once those mixtapes began to flood the streets and people heard who you were on these mixtapes, you started becoming in demand to actually see you live and DJing in the clubs. And that's what led to a lot of DJs going straight from the mixtapes to clubs.
So you was in the clubs first?
I actually came from the bottom, like the real bottom, DJing in the carriage room, to bringing the set out in front of the building. Talking about, this is like 88, 89. So What You're Saying was one of my first records I bought, the 12-inch from EPMD. Then we would get called to DJ weddings, actual Sweet 16s, parties for the schools. It all came from a low form, and it just went up gradually. The more work we put in, the more successful things started coming our way. We ended up doing parties for the state building, New York City Housing Authority. We kept going. About 92, we did a party for the whole East Coast McDonald's Family Day. This is like 92, me and my brother, DJ Half Pint. And we just started getting big. But what happened was, my little brother was so smart. He said, "Yo, man, your voice is crazy, Riv. You could do like Kid Capri and Brucey B and them. You could be like that. Even if you don't know how to DJ so much, I will control the records, and you just be on there talking, introducing the record, and shouting out the guys that you know in the street." Because at the same time, even though I was DJing in the clubs and trying to make these tapes, I was also heavy in the streets. This is how I was able to capitalize on DJing and having so many people follow me, because I was in the streets at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that whole thing of how you get the tapes in the stores and all that was a challenge. Like it was so much of a challenge that I didn't even know how to do it. Geo, you listening to me? I had to Triple C and D Demo help me do that, get my tapes in the store. But it was a challenge, man. Like going to them guys, Stereo Plaza and Sandy's and Music Factory, they wasn't just letting anybody in there. You had to have something. You had to be heard. And I kept trying and trying. Then next thing you know, I had the most stores in history, B. Over 500 stores, man. I had a book that every DJ in the world was trying to come over here to get that book that I had all the stores in. When your man Brucey B came home in '94 from doing that 7 years, he came straight to Bronxdale, was on the Ave with Fishing, looking for Riv. Yo, tell Riv I need that book, so he could try to go and put his store. Yo, Doo Wop, all these niggas coming over here. Clue, all that. I was on the Clue. I was on the bench arguing with Clue about Pistol Pete, and he was telling me about, his crew, Supreme and them niggas. Them niggas in Paisley is wilder than Soundview. Like, just some shit that really be like, damn, how the fuck, like, And he's telling me, how do you do it? Like, how did you get all your tapes in these stores? Where all these stores is at, Riv? And I gave that nigga the book. It was like 500 stores, little individual manholes on 28th and 14th and Allah on 7th Avenue and 5th Street. Gave it to him. Nigga never came and hollered at me when I got shot, nothing in the hospital, nothing, yo. All I heard was Clue everywhere. Nigga had the store. L.A. Love know that story. He always say it. The nigga, when I come in, and L.A. Love see me or something, he be like, 500 stores? DJ Rhythm? Yo, word. Going everywhere easily. Yo, sell it. Making stores out of people. Yo, just take these 50 copies, man. Give me back 10. You take the 15. Like, crazy. Like, really going, making spots, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit was a hard job, and I never really feel like I got credited for it. But, you know, it's what it is, man. Sometimes you got to tell the story for people to go back and remember, like, oh.
Are you sour with some of these guys that ran off into the Clue nigga? Never sour. Maybe because I ain't gonna say maybe. Never be sour because the way I was raised and having knowledge of myself early. You know, when you do good and people use you for it and don't reward you, it only makes you stronger. But it should never make you sour because I was doing it for the love in the beginning anyway. I wasn't even doing it in the notoriety. I wasn't doing it for the money. I just did it better. And I want other brothers to be just like me and have their stuff in stores right next to mine. But I never got a thank you for it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but it's what it is, bro. I would never be sour at them, big bro. Very happy for them sometimes. I could sit back and be like, yo, DJ Clue, that was my right-hand man. I was like his big homie, showing him the ropes and all that. Young dudes out here wouldn't even believe that, but, you know. No, they would.
Especially from a Bronxdale brother like me and myself coming from here, like, I showed him the way. Yeah. Like, you can't even beat that with a baseball bat. I'm talking about getting on the bus coming all the way from Queens, getting on the 27, meeting me in front of the building, trying to get the book with all the stores I had, over 500 stores. Early 90, 93, 94.
But some of the artists that you worked with prior to that, talk about top quality, the PMDs.
I had Tretch coming out here calling me out the window, wanting to get on one of my mixtapes, giving me his freestyle. Oh, Tretch.
And a black man.
Das Effects.
Okay.
Sadat X, that's my big homie. When I say big homie, that's my mentor. The great guy, Sadat X from Brand Nubian. Like, he seen me doing my thing with the mixtapes. He came all the time, every time I called, doing freestyling on my mixtapes, and he really helped me become a household name. He even mentioned my name like 3 or 4 times on his 94 LP, on the Brand Nubian LP, Everything is Everything in 1994. I even did shows with Sadat and Lord Jamal and them when Alamo and them wasn't Sincere wasn't around. They called Rhythm. Whoa.
Okay.
Shout out to Lord Jamal, man. Word up.
Talk about you know, the Black Nation and all that.
Oh, Black Nation, that was the thing I put together in downstairs in front of my building in my mom's house. What I did was I started seeing our crew getting bigger and bigger. I mean, we had like maybe about 10, 15 DJs, man. DJ Sugar Shack, DJ Larry Love, DJ KDM, DJ Rampage, like DJ Half Pint, DJ Double Nice. DJ Half Pint and Double Nice, they also was they mixtapes was very big at one time, Double Impact. You know, what we did was we said, yo, we always stick together. But what I did was I said, we all going to come together under one banner called Black Nation. I was very heavy into the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths at that time, being led by a brother like I said, Sadat X. Having knowledge of myself, I said that if we all put in together and show that we all moving at one accord, we gonna make more noise and even probably make more money. And no lie, this is before Wu-Tang wasn't even around. I had about maybe 20, 30 different rappers all pushing Black Nation. Downtown, Walla, PMS, Misery and Klepto, Drag On. Man, you couldn't believe it, some of the people that I had running with this Black Nation thing that I made downstairs, and we was running hard. The DOS Effects, Top Quality, like, you know, it was a DJ crew and a rapper crew with just brothers from all over, and we was on some real unity, Black Nation, positive, you know, 360 degrees, and that's what I put on my mixtapes. It went from DJ Rhythm to DJ Rhythm and Black Nation 360. A lot of people don't know that, but around 94, it changed.
What happened?
Like I said, I put my people on, and what I did was I featured them on all my mixtapes, freestyling on side A, freestyling on side B. You had Drag On, you had Walla, you had Downtown, you had PMS, you had Flipso, man, the name, it goes on, man, with brothers, you know, just Frozen Water, like, you had brothers on there, like, all from the neighborhood, just going in on them, you know, on my mixtapes. As well as artists like Sadat X and DOS Effects giving me freestyles, and Yo Chi Ali coming through doing freestyles in the house, like, you know, the Legion. Shout outs to CeeLo, Chucky Smash. We getting into some real history here. Some of this history might be make brothers turn over in their grave when they hear some.
What were some of the bigger things that happened? You know, we had the Andre Harrell dude. He was around. What's your story with the good brother?
It's crazy how you say he was around. He was around before anything. I know him as Andre. I know him as Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Like, he's like a big brother to me. He lived on the 6th floor, 6F, with his mother, Miss Harrell, Mr. Harrell, and his little brother, Greg. We know him all our life, you know, up until when he hit it big and came out with Uptown Records. I was there with him. I was a part of that. Like, I was up in the label every day with him sometimes, you know. A lot of people say, oh, he didn't do nothing for me, he didn't do nothing for the hood. You know, it's all on who you were and what you meant to a person, because what he may not have done for you, he may have done for this person. You know, he showed me a lot, like, about the business. Andre showed me a lot about the business firsthand, like, yeah. And he told me to be patient. That's one thing he told me. He said, just talking about Andre, we was just saying this about the other day, me and my brother said, yo, you remember when we went up to, we got a call and he said, come up to, the label? This is like, I'll say like pushing, September 92. My mom's like, oh, Andre and them called, they want you to come up to Uptown. It's important. So when we got a call like that, you know, this is big. He calling us, it could be for anything. And we got up there. We coming out the elevator. I'm asking my brother, I wonder what Andre want. I hope he, you know, got us an act or something, gig going on or whatever. My little brother always like militant. Just chill, Riv, just chill. We get up there as soon as we get buzzed in. Like, so we in the elevator and we coming out. And Puff is at the door. He's always at the door on the phone, letting everybody in. Him and his female cousin. I forgot her name, but he go in. Andre's inside the office waiting for you. Matter of fact, I think he's in the listening room. Listening room was like a long table, mad chairs on each side, and a stand with the the tape recorder and 2 speakers. They always air the music, and whatever they get ready to come out with, they air it out. But he was like, call me in the front. Dre like, yo, Riv, man, what's going on? I said, I'm all right. I said, yo, I want you to play this. I'm gonna play this record, and want you to give me my honest opinion, because I might sign this dude. I want you to give me my honest opinion. And if you tell me what it is for real, I'm gonna do it. And one thing about Dre, if he tell you something like that, he's gonna do it. So I said, who's the dude? He said, listen to this. He didn't even tell me who it was. And I said, all right, put it in, and it came on. It was like, bullshit and party and bullshit and party. I said, oh shit, who's that? 22's in my shoes. I'm like, yo, who is that? He said, yo, that's a new artist that I'm thinking about signing. Somebody Puffy bought me. His name is Biggie Smalls. He's from Brooklyn. Would you play this on your mixtape? I said, hell yeah. Matter of fact, I want that right now. He said, nah, that's going to be on my new soundtrack to Who's My Movie, Who's the Man. So I asked him, I said, so what you going to do with the record? Are you going to sign the dude? He said, I'm going to let you know. And if I sign him, we going to work something out so you could DJ for him. I said, oh shit, word. I went home and I started getting calls like crazy from uptown and back and forth up there with Puff, and a lot of rappers and artists that they was bringing in at that time. They gave to me to listen to first, to give my, you know, my opinion on it, being that I had the streets sold up with my mixtapes. So, you know, that's one of the stories right there I could tell you about Andre, but there's so many. But another story I'm gonna tell you about is I was in Smith High School, and Dre had moved his mother out, the whole house, and he turned it into a studio. And he brought in a group. He said, yo, I'm bringing in this group called, he said, yo, I'm bringing this group called Jodeci, man. I want you to look after them in the building, get them whatever they need, and, you know, watch over them. Don't let nobody, you know, bully them or whatever. I'm going to take care of you. And one thing about Dre, he wasn't one of those dudes that say, yeah, he going to take care of you. It's times I done got called up to the office and was given multiple hundreds of dollars for doing what they asked. And the funny thing is, I would go up to Uptown and Puff and them be like, yo, your envelope's up in the front. I used to be like, yeah. And it made, sometimes I used to be like, it felt like brothers was hating on me. I had took money out my shit or something because everybody laughing and all. I'm like, what's going on here? But yeah, Jodeci, they did their first album in my building, 1055 Rosedale, man. KC and JoJo. I used to be in the house with them and all that when they was recording and putting a song together, and actually did I think they did the whole album there. Because when they left, everything blew up on the airwaves, come and talk to me and all that. Like, number one, Finesse and Sinquest moved in right after them. That's one of the hottest female groups ever. Those was my homegirls. They used to be like, yo, we want you to DJ for us, Rhythm. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to, like, you know, mess with Father MC. They might be putting me with Father MC to DJ. And he ended up, Father MC at that time, he was big. He was on that whole Uptown with Heavy D and them. And he was going with Finesse. So he used to come to the building, they'd be arguing, fighting. I had to tell him to chill. Like, you know, mad times I had to run down on him like, yo, bro, like, you either going to chill or you going to get out. But yeah, Dre used to always tell me like, yo, man, your time is coming. Just be patient. And I always been patient. And that's how I got so tight and I got so in with Diddy, because I knew Diddy before he even had Bad Boy. I was already part of the family through the Uptown thing.
What happened with the mixtapes? What about your Bad Boy mixtapes? Let's talk about that.
He said, let's talk about that. Yeah, well, my brother's the one that always brought things to life. He, Half Pint, like I said, I love you, Half. He used to always bring things. If my hair ever got big or looked like it was getting too big, or I was the wool was over my eye, I had Half, man. Half Pint used to always be on point. He one day, at this time now, I'm rolling hard with everybody, like, but I'm actually DJing for Top Quality. Hold on. Yeah, at the same time, I'm DJing for Top Quality, who's on PMD from Paris Smith's label, the Hit Squad. Excuse me. And I'm DJing for him. He's on tour. He got a new album out called Magnum Opus. And we was on tour going all over at that time on Loud. PMD Records was on Loud. Bad Boy was in the same building as Loud. And I used to when I was up at PMD, I used to always go straight to Loud, go fuck with DJ Clue and go see what's up with Puff. And my man Harv Pierre, I believe Harv was the president at the time. I don't know, he was the president, whatever, but I had to always bring my mixtapes to Harv to let them know that I was playing Bad Boy music and everything, and I got everything like from Puff, and I'm like Bat Jackets, anything that came out new, any music that came out before anybody, I got it. And I used to be up at the label with Big and them, and at that time, I would say maybe around right before the time Puff got the deal.